What if a small-time thief suddenly gained superhuman strength, not to save the world, but to survive the brutal streets of Rome? They Call Me Jeeg Robot, 2015, flips the superhero genre on its head, delivering a raw, violent, and unexpectedly emotional story you won't forget. Stick around as we dive into one of the most intense and unconventional superhero films you'll ever see. Let's begin. At the beginning of the story, we see the main character, Enzo, fleeing from the police after stealing an expensive watch. To avoid detection by the police, he jumps into a river and stands against a wall. After the police leave, he attempts to climb back up using a barrel floating in the river. However, when he jumps, the barrel breaks, and he falls completely into radioactive waste. He somehow manages to get out and begin walking home. However, he soon begins to feel very sick. Black liquid comes out of his mouth, and he coughs violently. Even after returning home, he continues to vomit black liquid and coughs uncontrollably. He feels much better the next morning. He meets with his neighbor and gang member Sergio to sell the stolen watch. Sergio works for a crazy gangster named Fabio. He is so insane that he once murdered his own employee simply because he brought the wrong phone color. Sergio and Enzo sell the watch for 100 euros. Then they join a drug deal to make more money. Enzo enthusiastically agrees. When they visit Sergio's house to pick up some items for the transaction, Enzo meets Sergio's daughter Alessia for the first time. Alessia behaves strangely. She has covered the walls with drawings and informs Enzo about an anime called Steel G. She believes that one day her hero, Steel G, will come and save her. On the way, Sergio informs Enzo that since losing her mother, Alessia has completely disconnected from the real world and spends her days watching cartoons. Later, they pick up some drug mules in the car, which are people who hide drug packets inside their bodies so that the police cannot catch them. One of them dies when the packet inside him bursts, resulting in an overdose. His brother blames Sergio and shoots him several times in rage. Sergio smashes his brother's head into the wall before dying, severely injuring him. In his final moments, he also shoots Enzo, who falls from a tall building. Normally, no human being can survive a fall from that height, but Enzo suddenly opens his eyes and gets up. He has no idea what has happened to him. Meanwhile, in a club, Enzo's boss, Nunzia, the biggest thief, inquires about the drug transaction. Fabio lies and claims that everything went well, because if he admits that the drugs are missing, they will kill him. Later, Sergio's daughter Alessia questions Enzo about her father, but Enzo ignores her and enters his apartment. Alessia keeps knocking and asking, but he does not respond. Enzo punches the door and her hand breaks right through it. Surprised by his strength, he pushes a cupboard across the room, causing it to smash into the wall. He realizes that the radioactive waste has given him some sort of power. Enzo now has superhuman strength. One night, he lifts an entire ATM machine by himself. He uses the stolen money to buy good food for himself. Along with his new strength, his wounds begin to heal quickly. The bullet wound on his shoulder heals completely within a few hours. Meanwhile, the boss, Fabio, and his men begin questioning Alessia about her father, Sergio. They believe Sergio has fled with the drug, but Alessia truly knows nothing, so she stands there terrified and silent. Enzo suddenly crashes through the window while wearing a mask. Using his super strength, he defeats all of the men in minutes. The men flee, realizing they are powerless to stop him. Enzo quickly takes Alessia to his flat to ensure her safety. Alessia believes Enzo is her cartoon hero, Steel G, who has finally arrived to save her. Given her mental state, Enzo plays along and agrees with her. On the other hand, Fabio views CCTV footage of the ATM robbery, which has gone viral on the internet. He is certain that the man in the footage is the same person who attacked them earlier. Then Antonio, Fabio's right-hand man, arrives and advises him to take out a quick loan to recover the stolen money. But instead of taking out a loan, Fabio says they'll rob a bank truck, which they've already planned for. Meanwhile, Enzo discovers documents in Sergio's possession that reveal the same plan to rob the bank truck. The following day, Fabio and his men wait with guns for the truck to arrive. But before they can attack, Enzo stops the truck and steals everything for himself. Fabio's men even shoot at Enzo, but he escapes unharmed. Later that night, Enzo and Alessia watch her favorite anime together. When Enzo sits closer to Alessia, she becomes terrified and cries out. It becomes clear that Alessia has been sexually abused in the past and is still traumatized by the experience. The next day, Alessia repeatedly asks Enzo to save her father. Enzo takes her to an abandoned amusement park and uses his strength to make the rides run without electricity, just to cheer her up. Meanwhile, tensions between Fabio and Antonio grow. Antonio insists on returning Nunzia's money as soon as possible, even if it means stealing again. Fabio disagrees. When Antonio refuses to listen, Fabio becomes enraged and unleashes his attack dogs on him. The dogs kill Antonio. On the other hand, Enzo buys Alessia a princess dress from the mall, which she has always wanted. Later, Enzo informs Alessia that her father, Sergio, has died. Alessia weeps and blames Enzo, wondering why he couldn't save her father. Meanwhile, word of the bank truck robbery spreads widely. Enzo gains fame as a super criminal. Fabio wants to have Enzo's superhuman abilities. Alessia, hurt and angry, boards a bus alone, but Enzo uses his strength to halt the moving bus. He gets inside, apologizes to Alessia, and persuades her to accompany him. But Enzo forgets he's not wearing his hat and mask. When he looks around, he notices that everyone is recording him with their phones. In a panic, he grabs Alessia and flees. Fabio borrows money from a dealer friend to repay Nunzia, as they have no other options. Nunzia soon arrives with her gang, and when she does not receive her money on time, she becomes furious. A large fight breaks out between the two groups, and shooting begins. Finally, only Nunzia and Fabio survive. When Fabio gets to his hideout, he discovers that all of his men have died. Just then, a video of Enzo stopping the bus appears on television. Fabio immediately recognizes Enzo and sets out to find him. Meanwhile, Enzo and Alessia are attempting to flee to another city because the police now know what Enzo looks like. They stay at a hotel, but Fabio shows up with a gun. He shoots Enzo with a tranquilizer gun, knocking him unconscious. When Enzo awakens, he finds himself completely wrapped in duct tape. Fabio informs him that if he wants to save Alessia, he must reveal the secret of his superhuman strength. To save Alessia's life, Enzo transports him to the riverbank and tells him everything. Fabio does not believe him at first. During their conversation, Nunzia arrives with her men and begins shooting at them. In this intense crossfire, both Fabio and Alessia are severely wounded. To exact revenge, Nunzia burns Fabio's body and throws it into the river. As Alessia takes her final breaths, she tells Enzo to use his abilities to help others, no matter how powerful he is. Enzo feels completely broken and helpless right now. The next day, Fabio emerges from the water and, like Enzo, he now possesses superhuman strength. Fabio goes to a gambling establishment and kills everyone there. He also films himself killing them, hoping to become more famous than Enzo. Enzo, on the other hand, is heartbroken in the aftermath of Alessia's death and wanders aimlessly. Suddenly, he witnesses a car accident. Using his abilities, he rescues a young girl from a burning car. The girl's mother thanked him with tears in her eyes. Later, Enzo sees Fabio on TV, announcing his plans to bomb the city's largest stadium, just because he feels like it, for no apparent reason. Enzo rushes to the stadium, where thousands of fans are waiting for the match to begin. In the parking lot, he discovers Fabio with the bomb's remote. A violent fight breaks out between them. Despite the fight, Fabio manages to run to the stadium. Enzo runs after him. Fabio detonates the bomb just as Enzo closes in on him. Enzo grabs Fabio and the bomb and runs toward the river, throwing them away from the people. Fabio pushes Enzo right before he throws the bomb into the water. The bomb falls on the bridge, with only 1 minute before it explodes. When the bomb is about to go off, Enzo jumps off the bridge with Fabio and the bomb. The bomb detonates midair. Fabio dies instantly. His head separates and falls onto the bridge. Everyone believes that Enzo was also killed in the explosion. However, in the final scene, we see Enzo standing far away, gazing at the city from a distance. If you liked the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.